Go off. Go off. Go off. Go off.
Peace, everyone. Peace, peace. All right. So due to technical difficulties, it took me some time to come on to the scoop of Fari X. A lot of stuff was happening, and I apologize deeply. But there's a lot of people that have been out there waiting to see author T. White come on to the show. They've been waiting for a minute, and I appreciate the viewers that are looking and tuning in right now as we speak. So I want to introduce to you all author T. White. She is the author of A Gangsters Bestfriend. And I don't know if y'all read that book, but y'all need to go cop that. That's her first book she dropped. Y'all need to cop that book because the book is fire. And she's about to talk to us right now about her latest book, okay? And it's called Cookies and Cream. It's all sexy and all that good stuff going on, you know what I mean? And she's going to tell y'all about all the good stuff that's happening in the book and when it's going to be released and all that other good stuff. So welcome to the show, author T. White.
Hi, guys, and thank you for that intro.
Yes, thank you for your patience. You know, we was backstage talking. I was trying to tell you that the internet stuff is going on with the internet. It cut off on everything. The timer went off on my last, guest I had on the show. It just cut off on him. It's just like, everyone just acting, the internet acting rude right now, real disrespectful. You get what I'm saying? Real disrespectful. So we're going to have to do it this way, y'all. And I don't know if y'all can tell, but I'm not on my normal platform that I actually use. So I hope it shows nice and smooth and clear while we talk to T. White, So it's great having you on the show.
I know. I'm excited. I was waiting all day for this, so I'm happy. I'm very happy. I was looking at the time, like I took a shower. It was like 8:19, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm like, gotta be ready by 8:30. Like, Lord have mercy.
And you see what time it is now? A whole 2 hours later. We had extended time with Bro Unc that was right before you because it took a minute for him to, get situated, which pushed your time back. And then the internet want to start acting disrespectful when it was time for you to come on. Trying to hate. Cop blocking.
I'm off this weekend, so and I am all good. I'm ready to connect with some folks, talk to some people. I'm excited. I like that intro, by the way.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, I mean, because I had to let them know
that intro, and I like that song a lot. Kim came back hard with that.
Oh yeah. Go wow. Hey. And I had to put my voice on it because I couldn't just have Kim on it. Kim got to know that I go off. I had to make sure I said it. So I had to. So okay, we got some viewers on here watching and stuff. Why don't you tell everyone who author T. White is, better known as Tracy Williams? Who is she?
I think that's pretty simple. I'm gonna keep it short and simple. I'm very laid back and chill. I'm very friendly. I like to talk to people. I'm very social. So I think a lot of times when people meet me, they always tell me how much they like me as a person, even if at first they're not sure, about me, but after they get to know me, it's like, oh, I really like you as a person. So I think, to answer the question is just, me trying to tell somebody who I am. I think they would just have to see for themselves by, communicating with me, or if we're talking on a daily basis and, just getting to know who I am, from their perspective versus, my perspective. Because, I'm going to say the good stuff about myself. I'll leave the dark stuff for the books.
For all the books you be writing, you be putting the other side of Tracy up in them books, right?
Yeah, I do sometimes. I do sometimes. I sure
You
do.
do, you do. I wish I would have had this. I wish I would have had this podcast during A Gangster's Best Friend. You know, because that would have been real juicy.
And you know what? They maybe, maybe later on in the show we have like, 5 minutes. I can kind of, go through how that all came about. But I'll we'll work that out. If
Yeah,
you
we will. We will.
if you want, I'm on your platform, so
No, we can do it. We can do it. Look, I had you waiting 2 hours damn near. You understand what I'm saying? So for your patience, you can talk about whatever you want. You feel me? Anything.
Oh,
Anything you want. You can talk about anything you want because you really, really sat around and waited, and hung in there with me. I got to watch you eat that steak, you
oh my
know.
God.
Yes, I seen her eating some steak and some onions, a whole bunch of other stuff going on. It had me so hungry, and I don't even really even eat steak. Like, but she had me so hungry, I wanted a damn steak. So I was like, God, I don't eat steak. I don't
You
even
know
eat that. I don't
what?
eat red meat like that.
Me,
So
me and Christopher, that's our mother-daughter bond time. We do like the kickboxing, and then we have steak and asparagus. So as mother and son,
mm,
that's our little thing together. So when he came in the house tonight and he went in the freezer and he's like, "Oh, mom, you got steak." I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want steak tonight, and because I ate, so I wasn't really hungry. But I'm like, man, he already knows steak is the us thing, so I had to eat the steak.
Had me over here hungry. I'm like, shoot, I'm over here waiting for the internet. I'm looking at her cleaning the plate. I'm like, hold up now. Shoot. Hold up. I done been on interviews all day. I ain't got to clean a plate.
Oh my God.
But it's all good. It's all good though.
You better keep a
So,
sandwich on the side.
huh?
I say you better keep a sandwich on the side.
No, I want some hot ass food with some onions. That's what I want. I want some, I'm trying to eat some onions and some green bell peppers or something now.
Oh my God, you a
Ooh, I
trip.
want some gravy. You feel me? I don't want a sandwich. I want some gravy. So girl, what makes you stand out amongst the crowd? You know?
I think it's my confidence, and I definitely think it's the way that I carry myself, the way that I speak to other people, because
Mm-hmm.
I have this weird thing of like when I know that people are not really fond of me, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make this person like me. And I I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's just like, because the reason I do that is because people will judge you before they even know you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I figure like, okay, I'm like, let's, take a step back. And I'm just, I think I stand out so much because I'm not afraid or shy, to speak to people and say, hey, because maybe they're having a bad day, maybe they just need somebody to ask them, like, hey, is everything okay? Do you need anything? Is there something that I can do? You know what I'm saying? And then so when
Mm-hmm.
you put that energy out, and then now they're looking at you like, okay, well, like maybe she's not stuck up. Maybe she's not a smart ass. Maybe she's not this and all these other things that they put in their own head about you. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like I think a lot of it is just that, I'm very confident in, in who I am, and I try to give off that same energy to anybody I meet. I don't care, who it is, I'm just like, hi, I'm
Right.
a hugger, give people hugs unless the underarms smell funny. Then I'm like, what's up? From afar.
Right, right. We don't need no stink underarms touching us. No, keep your musty stuff away. Keep your musty stuff away. So,
No.
where did you grow up at, girl? Where did you grow up at?
So, sad to say, I spent like my preteen years in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Oh my, oh, I feel, that was a bad way to say that because
In
I don't know.
Harrisburg?
Yeah, I don't know who in this live might be from Harrisburg, and I don't want to offend nobody, so let me say that over. We moved to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, permanently. I want to say by the time I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 or something like that. Because from what I remember is that we we had an apartment back home in New York. But when we moved to Harrisburg, we always went back and forth because all of our family is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
So Christmas, holidays, birthdays, summertime, when everybody, had money and was doing good, we were always traveling back home. So once I believe I want to definitely say around 12, between 12 to 14 is when we permanently stayed in Harrisburg.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and I stayed there up until I was 24. So from about 14 to 24, I stayed in Pennsylvania.
Mm. How was it? How was it growing up there, like in like Pennsylvania, being melanated, like being a carbon melanated young girl? How was it for you?
It wasn't it wasn't bad at first. It didn't start to get bad until like between 2000 and 2001. But
Mm.
I honestly did not accomplish anything until I relocated. Oh, my voice cracked. Until I relocated, and I had to really make up my mind like, okay, I want to be somewhere different because I want to do something different. So I know I needed a whole different atmosphere. Like I had to take myself out of my comfort zone, which was Harrisburg because, we had lived there for so long. You
Mm-hmm.
know, Harrisburg actually was not a bad place before. But then I don't know, something got in the water and everybody just started acting bananas. And, the crime rate was just, I mean, it was ridiculous. It was to the point where, my kids, they heard gunshots outside of the window and they jump out of their sleep and they're like, we don't want to stay here. I packed my stuff. I called my mom and I'm like, because my mom had already lived in Virginia, but she was still working in Pennsylvania. And I called her. I said, listen, I was so upset. I was crying. I said, I have my bags together. Come get me tonight. I'm leaving it all behind tonight.
Mm.
And that was just like I would start school. I didn't finish school. I mean, it was just I don't know. It was just a very big burden that I knew I was carrying, but I didn't know how bad it was until I actually left, and it just felt like a weight was off of my shoulders. Like, now my kids are somewhere safe. Now I can let them outside, and I know they're not going to run into a crackhead, on the way to the store. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess it has its ups and downs. Some people think it's fine and that's fine, but as for me, speaking for me, it was not the best experience over the years. So that's
Right, right. I was traveling from Atlanta up north, and we went through a couple of sundown towns in going up toward that way, and one was in Pennsylvania. Are you aware of what a sundown town is?
No.
Well, okay, so a sundown town is where all the black folks got to be inside at a certain time.
Oh, wait.
And it's
What?
something,
Well, honey, I'm glad
yes.
I don't know where that's at because I like to stay up and do stuff all night.
Yeah, it just, in sundown towns, they be doing things. You understand what I'm saying? Like, white folks get away with killing and harming black folks in some areas when the sun goes down. So we went through a couple of sundown towns, but we happened to pass through Harrisburg, girl, and it had been like the countryside. It stunk so bad. It was like, smelled like all kind of cow doo. Like, it was like, I was like, dang, it stank here. Like, I was like, it stank. Like, I couldn't wait to get out of that part. I was like, oh my gosh, it stank. We was driving. I'm like, it stank.
I don't know what part you was in, honey.
It was the
but
backside. It was like a country part. It was in some country part, like through the roads. You feel me? So that's what I smelled. Like, it stunk bad. Like, I was like, God, but it was farms. It was farms. They had, like, cows and stuff, So it was like the back roads and all that stuff. And I went through there again, going back to Atlanta. And I'm like, here we go again with the stank part of Pennsylvania. It just stunk.
It's a lot of.
There's a part of Virginia like that too. It just stank. Girl, just stank. I'm like, what? Gosh, I'm glad I don't live over here in this area. How the heck they wake up in the morning smelling this crap? That's what it smelled like.
They're used to it. They didn't got immune to it now.
When I went through that, I thought about you too. I was like, I know she lives somewhere out here, but I know it went by the stank stuff. I know she went living by the stank. Like, so how old were you when you started writing?
I don't know, maybe like 9 or 10. I know I was definitely around like I want to say the 5th grade. Definitely around the 5th grade. And I started with just poems. I like poetry a lot. So
me too.
Yeah, my
me
mom.
Too. Do you remember? Your mom what?
My mom, she brags. Oh, my daughter been writing since she was 10 years old.
That mama stuff. That's that mama stuff. That's that mama stuff. Do you remember the first poem you wrote?
Oh my God, no.
Oh my goodness.
I really don't. It was so long ago, but I know I could tell you for sure that, it was some child's play words, It wasn't on the level that it is now, just some little.
Of course not. You was a baby.
Little kitty bitty stuff, the little cute, like, oh.
Right. So tell us, because like I was telling the viewers before I brought you on the show, you got like this real hot, sexy, saucy book getting ready to drop, right? Cookies and Cream. I'm talking about, it's real, and Cookies and Cream will have you like, woo, all right, okay, now, all right, let me start and get some water and drinking some water, and then get back to reading it.
Get the water bottle.
So you're gonna have to tell everybody about Cookies and Cream, and where'd you come up with that name from? What?
I don't know, honestly. It just I wanted something different. I wanted something very different. I think what helped me to come up with it is because I used to read a lot of romance novels. So I'm like, okay, what can I call the book and still give it like that Fatal Attraction obsession kind of vibe, and still stick to the storyline. So I'm like, cookies and cream. And I kept saying it over and over because I'm like, I wanted to make sure that it sounded right, not just thinking about it, but just, saying it out loud. So I'm just like, cookies and cream. And I just kept saying it. And I'm like, I like it. I'm like, so now what I have to do, I'm like, I have to, you know, just keep the storyline, like just straight up and down what it is, not, straight away from, because it's a romance. So I didn't want to go away from the storyline and have somebody thinking, well, is this a romance novel or is this a street novel? You know what I'm saying?
That's a little romance.
Because I've caught myself doing that in the past with things that I've written. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to really, really try and, give it that vibe. Like, okay, if this was a movie, what would it look? What would it sound like? And like everybody in my house is a fan of Chris Brown. Everybody. Like even my brother, if you even talk bad about Chris Brown, like he gets so upset. Girl, one time he got so mad that we was we wasn't saying nothing bad about Chris, but we was teasing him, and he got so mad he left my house. Like he left. He went outside. But
why y'all love Chris Brown so much? Is it because he from that area? He from the DMV, so y'all love him that much?
No, I think it's just because he's been making music so long, and he really is. And when I listen, I think the thing too that inspired me to write Cookies and Cream is when he did the feature song with her, come together. And I'm just like, his duets with, other female artists are just always on point. So when I kept listening to that song and I was like, I said, you know what? I'm like, whenever I write, I listen to Chris Brown because it puts me in such an erotic mood. And I'm like, okay, this is the way I want to write this book. And a few of the songs between him and Aaliyah, I actually used the both of their songs and I combined them and I remixed them and, wrote a song in a book myself, but still, sticking to the vibe, their songs individually and stuff. So, I'm like, I said, okay, the more I wrote it, I'm like, I like this. I'm like, I like this a lot. And so then there we had it, Cookies and Cream.
Girl. So Chris Brown was an inspiration in Aaliyah. And Aaliyah had some really, really, really nice music, especially on One in a Million.
Yeah. I like her song. You ever listen to like the mashups that the artists do?
Tell me about it.
Okay, so when you do a mashup, you take one
online, right?
Yeah. So when you do a mashup, you take a song from one artist or multiple artists and you combine them all together and you sing different parts of each artist's song, but in the same song. So Aaliyah's song At Your Best and then Chris Brown's song Take You Down, I combined them and I'm like, I said this, I like this. I'm like, I really, really like this.
I love that song by Chris Brown.
Yeah. But wait till I think too when readers read that part, like especially after seeing this interview, I think they'll, be like, okay, I see what she tried to do. And if, anybody who's a fan of mashup music, they'll get the picture of like, hey, I like the way she, she did that and stuff. So
right. You're creative. You're really, really creative. I learned that about you.
Anybody else? Ugh, so nasty.
I learned that about you over the years. Like you're a creative woman, very creative. So,
I
are
try
we
to
gonna
be.
be able to hear? Are you gonna? So you made a song, you said, for the book, right?
Mm,
Are we
I
gonna be able
most
to hear a song? Are we gonna hear this song?
I'm gonna say yes, and I'm wondering if I should even let everybody know who's gonna record the song, or if I should just drop it like a bomb and let it be a surprise. I
Look,
think I might
you're
let it
already.
be a surprise.
I'm about to say you're already a celebrity, so just drop it. That's what celebrities do, right? They just drop it, right? Right. So just drop
That's
it.
not,
Just
well,
drop it because people are gonna go listen. They're gonna go listen. Like, what does she got going on? She dropping music now. I thought she was the author.
yep, that is so. But you know what? One of my co workers, he's like, well, what does cookies and cream actually mean? He said there has to be a meaning behind it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I said, okay. And I'm thinking, I'm almost certain he was like, you should write a song, or do something like that. He said, I don't really remember. But I was at work and I grabbed my notebook out and I was like, I wrote that song in literally like 10 minutes. Like, and I had to do it fast before I lost it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm singing it in my head, and I'll go on break and I text my brother. I said, I need you to do this song. I'm like, I really need you to do this song. And I'm like, I said, we can record at my house, or I'm sorry, not record at my house. I said, we can shoot a video at my house, because I told him, I
Mm-hmm.
had a video concept, because I really want to put a lot into this book, so that when people read it, they know, like, okay, it's not just a book. I want them to see lights flashing when they read this book, like, oh my God. And then, like, there's a song too, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just, I
Okay.
definitely,
Okay.
oh, what's happening?
No, I'm here. I'm here. I was letting
Okay.
everyone see you. I just put it on so
Oh,
everyone
I'm
can
like,
see
I'm
you
like, okay,
talking.
I'm like, we good. Okay.
I'm
All
here. I
right.
just put on the full
Moving.
screen so they can see you. I want them to
Oh,
focus
okay.
on you while you talk about this book.
Oh, but
Ah, spotlight on the celebrity, you know?
oh, don't be gassing me up. That's what Biggie said in Notorious. Don't be gassing me up.
Look. You gotta speak it into existence, you know? You're a celebrity, you're a star already. Okay? I got a celebrity. I got a celebrity. I got a star on my show. Okay? Her name is T White. And she be right in, you know? But I'm telling y'all, look, that cookies and cream is the jump off. It's a jump off. And she had described it. She said fatal attraction. Yeah. Look, I got the scoop on it, and I ain't telling y'all. So y'all gonna have to go pick it up. So that's just what it is. All right. I got
I
the
can't
scoop.
wait for people to read this book.
Huh?
I said I can't wait for people to read this book. Like
Right, right, right. And
I'm
if they're into movies like that, like Obsession, oh, if y'all seen up
yeah.
Cookies and Cream and Obsession are like this. Like this. Yes. Yes. So I like the book. And I'm not really into like those kind of, those kind of novels, those kind of reads or anything. But I like it a lot. It's
Yay.
interesting.
See,
It's
that
interesting.
means that means I did good.
It keeps you reading and keeps you going, like, okay, what's about to happen now? What's happening? You know? And I be thinking like, is this stuff that this girl, let me find out T White got some stuff going on. Like what the
No,
but
but everything that I write though is definitely coming from someplace real, whether I did it myself or, seen it from other places. Like, as far as my two female characters, that kind of stem from um
mm-hmm.
friends that I used to work with back in Pennsylvania. And we were all friends, and we're actually all still friends to this day. And one of them is actually married now. But I like to be as realistic with my characters as possible, because then when people, when they read the story, they can read like, oh my God, like I know this character has to be real. I know she's real. And I like for them to feel all of that emotion, whether my character is, happy or sad, or when they're crying, or, anything my character is going through is what I want the reader, to feel as well, because then I feel like they can relate to the book more. I feel like, they'll share the book more with their friends, like, okay, you need to read this book because it made me feel like this or that, or, my son Kai, y'all. But yeah, so it's
And
just,
he is so cute.
my, my little mini with his braids look back there looking like old dog.
He is
So
so cute.
he's tired. But yes.
Mm, okay, that's what I'm talking about. So this is what I am expecting and hoping for your book, right? After reading it and so forth. Yes, y'all, I got to read it first, okay? After reading it, I just got to throw that out there. I get to read it first. So after reading it and everything, I really think that you should turn Cookies and Cream into a film.
Oh, girl, don't tempt me, because
I think it should be a film.
I think so too.
It is definitely worthy of being a film. You need a visual behind this.
I know, and
Mm.
I have given it much thought, and I would like that. I would like that, because when
You would?
certain parts that I wrote, and I'm just like, I seen it more so on a camera than I did on paper. And I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I'm like, I need some actors, and I need some actresses, and a few cameras, and because like I swear to you, like I know, even though I work like a 9 to 5 right now, like I know movies is what I'm supposed to be doing with the rest of my life. Like even if it's not like today, next month, or whatever the case, but movies is definitely something that I know for a fact that I should be doing. And
Right.
and I don't know, like I watched so many movies when I was a kid, but I just always had a fascination with the TV. For
I'm
one,
just
I
playing with the
never
screen. Don't
understood,
mind me.
huh?
Don't mind me. I'm just playing with the screen, trying to see things.
Oh,
Like,
okay. But yeah,
I'm going.
I just always had a fascination with the TV, because for one, I never understood how people got behind the TV screen, and I'm like, I don't know how they do that. I'm like, but I want to do it. I'm like, I want to be however they're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
But
You should definitely do it, though. Definitely for this book. If not any book, Cookies and Cream. I can see that this book a movie. I can see people watching it on Netflix and like Amazon and possibly even in the movie theater. Like I can see that. But it definitely reminds me of like a Amazon, not an Amazon, a Netflix film. That's what it reminds me of. So then you should really, 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 really think about that.
I guess that means I
Seriously.
have to convert the book into a script.
I think you should. I think you should, girl. What, you know
Gotta
what?
focus on one thing at a time. I'm like, I don't want to give it all away, but 26,000 words into the next book, I didn't say that out loud. Y'all didn't hear that.
You know, that's my next question. What you have next going on? What's coming up next?
Oh, I've been waiting to talk about this. So I can't share the title right now, but you know, I had to give this storyline and you know this book a lot of thought. And well, let me rephrase, not so much a lot of thought, but I had to put a lot of research into it because of the storyline, because of the type of storyline that it is. And you know where it takes place, which is, you know, South Side Chicago. And I've never been to Chicago, so I really had to Google places, you know, are they still open? Are they shut down? Are they abandoned? Are they, you know, being renovated? All that good stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I'm like, I want this book to be raw and raggedy. And
Right.
that is, you know, and as much as I try to stay away from using the N word when I write, I do not like to use the N word in my books. I don't like for my characters to, you know, to say that. And I always try to shy away from that. But with this book and these characters, because of the setting, and I know Southside Chicago, you know, because like I said, you know, had to research it, and especially the South Side and like the crime and stuff like that. I'm like, there's no way. I'm like, I can't make these particular characters um, you know, like goody two shoes. I'm like, I have to give my readers the raw and the rugged, because if I make them this way, it's not going to be believable. But if I, you know, if I make them young, thorough street dudes, you know what I'm saying? And that way the readers will be like, okay, they're street, but they're respectful, especially to their elders, but they're still being raised in the south side of Chicago, which means they automatically have that mentality. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? And so I would like to pre-warn my readers that, you know, if you see a couple of N-bombs, just read it, fly by it, and move on.
Letting y'all know in advance. All right. Just letting y'all know in advance. There's a
Um,
couple of niggas in there. All right.
Because I can promise you, any other book that you read from me, you will not see that. You will never see it. And
Right.
so,
Right.
you know, just giving you guys a heads up. See it, read it, laugh at it, and you know, keep it going.
She had to get real gritty and grimy and all that stuff in this book she talking about. So I can't wait for that one. You know, I can't wait. Hopefully I'm the first to read it.
Oh, we getting there. I keep taking them bathroom breaks.
I remember when you was writing your first book and you had that notebook with you. And every time you turn around, you were writing in that notebook.
Have it. I still have it. I don't let it out of my sight for nothing.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, you know what? I want to ask you another question about cookies and cream,
Uh-huh.
right? Because I'm like so stuck on cookies and cream because cookies and cream is coming out next week. All right. So I'm like
For
hella stuck on
celebration.
cookies and cream. And cookies and cream taste good too. I don't know if y'all what y'all think, but shoot, cookies and cream tastes good. So and she named it cookies and cream. So how long did it take you to write that book? Like when did you start writing it?
So I think, oh my. So we're in May. I want to say I started it around like last year, around like Christmas or something like that, because I wasn't,
2019?
yeah, because I wasn't fully dedicated to it at the moment and
Right.
stuff. So I had started it, but you know, I had took like a little pause, and you know, I wasn't working on it as much as I was when I first started, because I'm like, okay, I don't know why I took a break from it. I don't know what I was doing. I can't tell you, but
Mhm.
but I'm just like, okay. I'm like I think I took a break too is because I felt like that book was kind of like special. I felt like, you know, it was different from writing, you know, a street novel. And I really wanted to put like some love into it. So I'm like,
Mm.
I'll go back to it, you know, when I have something original to say, not
Mhm.
writing because I can write. You know, I'm like, I actually want to have something to say, you know.
Mhm. You had a lot to say.
I,
Mm. You had a
I,
lot to say.
I did.
You had a lot to say, and I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for, pursuing your vision, because you've come a long way. For those that don't know, like she's really come a long way. She was always at one point in time complaining about working in McDonald's. You see her, like going ham because there was a lot of like racism going on up in the store she was at. People always had something or was making like funny faces because of her hair. People always had something to say about her. She was homeless for a little while. You know what I mean? And she was going through a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And guess what? She hashtags all the time that 2020 she's a homeowner, right?
I sure do. That's
She
my
it,
that's my
and guess
thing.
what? Guess what? She lived up to everything she's been hashtagging. Everything. Credit got good, got the house on the way. You know what I mean? She done wrote these books. She's getting ready to make some movies. She's a star, a celebrity. hmm She's doing it all. She's doing it all. She really is. And she doesn't stop and she don't get tired. She don't get tired. She don't get tired. She just be doing it.
I
Look.
did. Oh my gosh. I can't even describe the feeling. It's like such a scary feeling, but it's like the feeling of like when everything is actually said and done. Like
hmm
there's this video that Diddy put on his Instagram last year,
hmm
and I think it was a video of him. It has something to do with MTV. I'm almost certain that's what he said in the video. Something about MTV. I don't know if he was trying to partner with them, or I don't know if he was trying to get something like on their channel or,
hmm
but whatever it was, they approved it. So he's on the phone and he has his video guy recording him, and MTV tells him, you know, okay, you can use our platform for whatever it is that you want to use it for. And he just like he went bananas. He was like, I got my MTV thing. He slams the phone down and he's like, what can't you do? Like, I can do it. And he's like, give me something else. Like, I can do this. And he was so like he was throwing things across the room, and he kept picking up the phone and hanging the phone up. And I was reading the comments, and they're like, you know, Diddy, you hung the phone up already, it's fine, because he was so happy. He kept picking the phone up and hanging the phone and putting the phone back on the hook. But you know, I say that to say, you know, I watch that video every day, at least I want to say 3 to 4 times out of the week and stuff,
hmm
because I see that video and I'm just like, because people will literally say to you, oh, why do you want to do that? Do you think you can do that? Oh, you don't have the money for that.
hmm
Or favorite line is, oh, you think you can start a business with your taxes. You might can't start a whole business with your taxes, but you can invest your taxes into your business until,
Oh,
you know,
oh, best
and
believe you can start a whole business with just $20. You don't need
I
taxes to start a business. You can start it with $20. You know,
But people
like
don't understand that they, you know, because they're not, I'm not going to say they're not business minded, I just like to say they don't understand at that particular time. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't
Mhm.
like speaking for myself, I never ever ever expect anybody to understand why I hustle the way that I do or why I would rather quit my 9 to 5 and work my behind off to get somebody to read my movie script and invest and say, you know what, this is it right here. This is it. And even Michael Jackson just simply saying this is it, that even gets to me sometimes because when I'm doing things and it's really happening and I'll sit
Mhm.
there and say, I'm like, yo, like this is really it. Like this is like it's really happening. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
like, I have so many pep talks with myself and I'm just like, man, I'm like, Tracy, like, you're doing this, you're doing it,
You
can't stop,
are.
can't turn back.
You are, girl. You are doing it, and you've been doing it, and you're only gonna get greater. Only gonna get greater. You know. And you speak every. I'm telling them, like you speak everything into existence. Like ever since I known you. You know. You just gotta have that faith in you. Have that faith in you, and don't give up on you. You know, because ain't no one else gonna do it but you.
True
But
story.
you.
True
You
story.
know. And you've been doing it. I'm so proud of you. I'm super proud of you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Oh,
for
don't get me
real.
twisted. Don't get
Girl,
me
super proud of
emotional.
you. Super proud of you. I watched you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I watched you. I just watched you before you released your book. I watched you the whole way, you know? And I let you go through, your trials and your errors and everything. I just watched you. I said, I gave you the advice, but you did, you wanted to explore. And that's what I told you. Go on, explore. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do, you know?
It has been a long journey. Oh my God.
It has
But
been. It has been.
everything is a learning process. That's why I always hashtag, making progress. Like I'm a firm believer in, you make progress by going through the process of things. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I try not to get upset because I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is just another progress to my progression. I'm not gonna get mad. But
Nope.
then I have a meltdown and I get mad and I get over it.
I think that happens to us all. It happens to us all. You see me having a meltdown today. Like, what's going on with the internet? I was having a meltdown. I'm screaming at your plate. She eating the damn food in my face, and I want the internet on now.
Oh my God.
The thing cut off on Bro Onk. He had it. His interview was
Let
done.
me tell
Now
you,
I can't get on the internet.
I was trying to down that steak before you got on. I said, watch you gonna start this video as soon as I'm halfway eating my steak, and then boom, you pop up. I'm like, oh my
And I'm like,
God.
girl, what you eating? I'm looking like, what's that? What you eating? Yeah, I was all up in your plate. Hold up, I see gravy.
Gravy. Oh man.
Yo, but seriously, it was great, 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 great having you on. Where will everyone be able to find Cookies and Cream when it drops next week? Where will they be able to find it?
So we're gonna have that on Google Play. Hopefully Kindle Unlimited because a lot of people are asking, is it on Kindle Unlimited? And I'm like not at the moment, but maybe soon and stuff.
Will
But
be.
I definitely have to thank my daughter's godmom, Mimi's godmom, because she's always the first to congratulate me and say, I'm gonna buy the book today when I get off of work. And she's a woman of her word every time. Every time, she's like one of my biggest supporters outside of like,
What's her
friends.
name?
Jessie.
Shout out to Jessie.
Yeah,
Keep
Mimi.
being her motivation and her supporter.
Yeah,
You
Mimi.
want to
Mimi.
shout out anyone?
Uh, I definitely. Who can I shout out? It's so many. it's so many people. But you know what? I honestly, I think I'm gonna shout out my one of my good friends, DJ Hypnotic, because when I first told him that I wanted to convert A Gangster's Best Friend into a short film, and we worked at it and we worked at it, and he was, even though we both had never done any acting before, he was coaching me, like, like, you
Mm,
can do this, like, you got this, anything in the world that I want to do, he's always in my corner 100%, like, like, you can do it, stay focused, you got this, you know what I mean? So, and like, the more I think about, him encouraging me, and I'm just, I always just say to myself, like, I think that really is like one of my best friends, because, who else can you really
mhm.
talk to, about everything, your dreams, what you're afraid of, why you're, you know what I'm saying? And they just listen. They just listen. And
Right.
so that definitely shout out to my friend Hypnotic, my favorite DJ. My favorite DJ. Always tell him I like to
Shout
see
out to DJ Hypnotic. Shout out to DJ Hypnotic.
but just,
Well, again,
my friends. Oh, well, hold on. I can't forget you, ma'am, because from the moment that I even gave you the book, and you was all over the internet. Oh, cookies and cream. Oh, watch out for this book. Oh, watch out for this book and stuff. So I'm just very happy that that you're invested in me as much as I'm invested in myself. And so I meant
gotta
to even tell
support
you that
you.
even before this interview. So thank you, my
Of
good
course.
friend.
Of course, of course, of course.
Much
This is
appreciated.
what I do. I love to support my people, especially when they've been supporting me and been there for me through my ups and downs and all that good stuff, you
Yeah,
know? So, yeah, I had to. I had to. It was only right. You have to give back when someone gives to you, give back.
right. Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. And you got to come back on next week when the book drops, right?
Oh, okay. I'll make
Yes, you
sure I
gotta
have
come
my
back
hair
on.
different, 'cause this ponytail is not it.
Oh, look, I might just have my hair out of this too next week. It's gonna be off during the Mother's Day special. I'm gonna have my scarf off and showing some hair. You know, people probably think I'm bald headed.
Oh my God. We know that's not the truth. We know
So
that is
again,
far from
so
the
tell
truth.
everyone where they can find you at. Where can we find ya?
Okay, so you guys, I would greatly appreciate if you guys follow me on Facebook on my author page at author T White. Um, if you Google, I'm sorry, if you search at T White personally, my page should come up. Cookies and Cream. You guys can follow me on there. A Gangster's Best Friend. I also have my page called it's Tea Time, where I kind of just share, like, just daily news things. I like to try and keep everything separate, post
And it's
personal
tea, like
things.
tea that you drink. TEA.
Yeah, like it's tea time, just post some, news things, keep everybody up to date what's going on in the world. And then my author page, where I post, personal things about myself. That's why I call it T White Personally, post things about my kids, and, just things so that my readers can, feel connected to me, and, things of that nature. So again, author T White, Cookies and Cream, and then A Gangster's Best Friend. Those those are the pages where you guys can follow me. And on my Instagram, Miss underscore Tracy White, Twitter, author. Oh, wait a minute, is it Miss Tracy? I have to change that to Twitter. I'm not a big Twitter user, you guys, so I apologize, but definitely Instagram and Facebook. That's for
That's
sure.
the move.
Yeah. There you
Y'all
go.
make sure y'all follow her on all those platforms, and she'll be back on again next week with cookies and cream. And we had so many comments in there, but it was so hard for me to go through the comments with how I'm streaming right now. It's so hard for me to go through everything. But next week we're not gonna have this problem, or else the internet company gonna have some problems with me.
How many? We got some comments on there. That makes me excited.
Oh yes, there's lots. So go back. A lot of them are on actual like Facebook. Then you got quite a few on YouTube. So go back and look at the ones on Facebook at the Scuba Fari. No, on my Fari X page, and then look at the Scuba Fari X on YouTube, because this time it's streamed on my actual page, the Fari X page. So yeah, go look at both. You got comments on both. So when you watch the video, you'll see the comments come through.
That is so cool.
Yes, you do. You got comments. So it was great having you on, sister.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Until next time, next week.
Next week. Can't wait.
All right. Peace, girl. Peace.
Peace, sister. Adios.
It's the scoop with Fari. Go off. Go off. Go off.